What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name is Michael Roman, aka Allfires. I apologize, my uploads have been a little sparse over the last 3 or 4 days. I am seriously under the weather. To those of you who caught whatever's going around, my heart goes out to you. My voice is definitely going to crack during this video. On Saturday of last week, so just days ago, we covered a leak from industry insider Jeff Sneider, again, who has a trusted track record, at least real recently, with Marvel scoops, talking about some drama on the set and behind the scenes of Avengers Doomsday, where apparently Robert Downey Jr. wanted to reshoot around 3 weeks worth of work because he wasn't satisfied with the off-screen lines he had read while they had body doubles in the suit, and that there was another incident in which at the time he didn't want to get into the details because he said it may have been blown out of proportion and didn't give us any more than that. Well, here we are less than a week later, and his buddy on the Hot Mic podcast, John Roca, actually spilled those details, or at least some of the main ones for a situation that seemed like it was the same one that Jeff Sneider was alluding to. And while I think that sometimes some of this news is not really what I want to be covering at the channel, I'd much rather be talking about theories. Regardless, we're going to break down this latest scoop that 2 huge actors got in a fight on set of Avengers Doomsday, exactly what happened and what the fallout meant for a potential delay to filming. We're breaking it all down. First, if you could grab the subscribe button, we do daily Marvel content at the channel. Thanks to everyone who's been subbing recently. If you've watched some content at the channel or if you enjoy the video, I'd really appreciate the sub. Plus, leaving a comment and hitting the like button will enter you for the ongoing giveaways. If you want, stick around at the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so again, the scoop, if you want to call it that, is coming from John Roca over on the Hot Mic podcast. He, alongside Jeff Sneider, have been dropping absolute Marvel bombs for the last year and a half, including Doctor Doom being Robert Downey Jr., Hulk and Punisher and Spider-Man, and the list goes on. This is exactly what he said about an incident on the set of Avengers Doomsday, quote, "They are 2 pretty big actors. Apparently, a comment, from what I understand, was made in jest that was a bit too familiar because these actors didn't know each other too well. It crossed the line. One of the actors got really upset about it, confronted the other actor. It was said on set. That caused a big rift. 2 very outspoken actors went at each other. One of the actors, Marvel said, we'll shoot your scene separately or without the other actor in it, or we'll figure out some other way. That actor felt that the fact that Marvel was willing to make those concessions was enough, because they also told this actor that it would cost millions of dollars to shoot the scenes without the other actor. Since Marvel was willing to at least make the effort to concede that, the move the schedule around, they felt that was a good enough faith effort. Both actors were brought together, apologies were exchanged, and people moved on. Yes, they're okay now. There's been no other incidents that I've heard. It was a pretty big blow up, apparently." Okay, so I want to preface what I say next with a sort of a disclaimer, because I feel like sometimes, man, people watch my YouTube videos and I don't even think we're watching the same thing, or at least they're not hearing what I'm saying. In no way is what I'm about to say have anything to do with Jeff Sneider or John Roca as sources of scoops. They have been great, an absolute pillar of the community now out of nowhere. Both of them have a proven track record. I don't disbelieve them at all. I believe this scoop. But I also 100% believe, and as Jeff Sneider might have mentioned about something behind the scenes getting blown out of proportion, or at least perhaps exaggerated, that there are people who are lined up, again, not Jeff Sneider and John Roca, but just in general in the Marvel news cycle, to take a crack at Marvel anytime they get a chance, and they would love to report that there is way more drama on the set of Avengers Doomsday than there may actually be. Again, not Jeff Sneider and John Roca, just in general in the Marvel news cycle, there are a lot of people who would love to spin anything into a huge negative for Marvel, and still do, even things that may not even be true at all. Topic for a different video, but in the meantime, I think the chances of this happening are huge. There are so many huge egos in Avengers Doomsday. It's impossible to guess who these 2 actors are, and it honestly doesn't even matter, especially if they've moved on. You would expect this kind of thing to happen, especially in a cast this big, in a situation probably with this much pressure. Now, what I will also say is, as far as Jeff Sneider and John Roca go as industry insiders, again, them right upside Daniel RPK right now are definitely the most trusted sources in the game and the most active. They're coming with actual scoops that are getting proven in pretty quick turnaround in close proximity. Jeff Sneider even name dropped Sadie Sink, and while he indicated at least at first it might have been Jean Grey for X-Men, and that still may come out to be true, she definitely was talking to Marvel Studios because 2 months later she was cast in Spider-Man Brand New Day. These guys definitely know what they're talking about, so I think that the scoop, while it could be true, is also going to get spun by other people to be like, look, they're having major drama, Avengers Doomsday is doomed. Oh, terrible pun. Oh man, you know what, we're leaving it in. I'll make a note for my editor, leave it in. But still, I think that that is always going to be the case, and so whatever else we hear about bumps in the road with Avengers Doomsday, I'm just going to take it with a grain of salt. What I expect to hear is another delay and for them to push these movies out even further because of the size and scope of them, and I won't even be disappointed if that's the case. I'd much rather them get it right than rush it out. But I will concede this, of all the reporting on this issue, you could definitely see how for Kevin Feige and the rest of the upper Marvel brass who are used to being the on-set plussing for Marvel movies, it would be a lot more difficult right now with the Russos as directors and Robert Downey Jr. in his own right on set as a part of that process now, as opposed to basically Kevin Feige doing whatever he wanted on sets of, say, like Thunderbolts or the Marvels. Those are two totally different things, which could lead to a lot longer of a process as they all figure out their collaborative voice and who actually gets to make some of the final calls moving forward with how the film is going to go. But this is what you get when you don't finish the script before you start. It leads to these kinds of problems, and honestly, if you haven't seen Too Many Cooks, well, go watch that. That's what it might be like trying to make collaborative art with too many people who think they know the right way, but not anybody who wants to move in the same direction. But you guys let me know how you feel about any and all of this. And yes, I do feel like it's sensationalized. Probably think it's also true. It is what it is. At least they're moving forward. There's no more delays. Well, you know, until the next one. But you guys let me know all your thoughts down below. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff. Okay. Still doing tons of giveaways at the channel. Super simple to be entered to win. Hit the sub button, leave a comment down below, and because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, the same way we're doing here, live with my voice, the winning comment shown on screen when there is one. So please be safe and vigilant across YouTube, and if you should ever get spam on my channel or any other, just remember to report it directly to YouTube. They're very swift about deleting those comments and those accounts across the entire platform. You're doing everyone a service. Best way to keep up the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on, and as always, if you liked today's video, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at @IamFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes under the name Allfires. Also, it doesn't matter how I'm feeling, I will be closing out the main stage at a small festival outside of Detroit called the Woodkey Festival this weekend. Again, it is rather small. I don't suspect a ton of you here at the channel will be attending that, but if you are, I definitely met some of you last weekend at Base Canyon. Make sure you come by and say hello. I'm sitting in as a special guest with KJ Saga, and we are closing down the main stage from 12:30 to 2 a.m. So to the few that may be there at the channel, I will see you there. For the rest of you, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.